So my name is Amy Butler. I'm a research physicist at NOAA in the Chemical Sciences Laboratory. And I actually started off as a federal employee at the NOAA Climate Prediction Center in Washington, D.C. And after 4 years there, my family wanted to move back to Colorado, where I'm from. So I moved to the NOAA in Boulder. And I spent 6 years as a contractor at NOAA CSL through the University of Colorado. And then the last year and a half, I've been a federal employee. I went to college at the University of Colorado in Boulder. I majored in physics and astrophysics, and I actually did an internship at NOAA in the summer as an undergraduate, and it ironically is in the exact same lab I now work. And it was a great experience, obviously. I met a lot of good mentors, and that was why I decided to go into graduate school to get a doctoral degree in atmospheric science. And I went to Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado. After I got my PhD, I went and worked at the Climate Prediction Center in Washington, D.C. And there they do a lot of subseasonal to seasonal prediction, which is another area of my current research. And then after 4 years there, we moved back to live in Colorado. And I have been working at the NOAA Chemical Sciences Laboratory since we came back. And yeah, so that was my path. I was passionate about weather from a really early age. And this was partly due to a fear of tornadoes, which got pretty bad when I was around 11. And so as part of that, my parents decided to just bombard me with information. So they got me books about weather. I asked for a barometer for my birthday present, which I hung on my wall. I used to watch the Weather Channel all the time. And so weather was always something I loved. But, you know, I kind of didn't think about it as a career. I just thought about it as something kind of fun to do. I actually started off in college as an English major and then had a really good astronomy class, and so switched into a science program, which I was happy about. I really loved studying astrophysics, but I sort of started to think that I wanted something a little more hands-on than studying these planets and stars that were so far away. And studying our own planet and its atmosphere is something we experience every day. And that tied to my earlier interest in weather. I was like, wow, I could study this as a career and it's something I love anyway. That would be awesome. And the other thing is that I think weather is a really great uniter because weather affects everyone, and bad weather can have really big impacts on people's lives. And it also just feels really important to try to understand how weather patterns will change in the future as we keep emitting more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. So that leads to some pretty big questions where we get to study what will potentially have major consequences for society and for people's lives in the future. So I have two kids, a 7-year-old and a 10-year-old. So usually my day starts off, me and my husband get them ready for school and we walk them to their bus stop. And then I do usually have a little bit of time after I drop them off to go on a walk or do some gardening. And then when I get back to start my job, most of my day is actually on a computer. So unlike a lot of people at my lab who are doing really hands-on lab work, I am a computer person. So I spend a lot of time writing computer programs to analyze really large data sets. And a lot of this is either from a climate model simulation, which is just simulating the real world, or actual observations of the atmosphere. And so the rest of my time is spent sharing ideas and results with other researchers or writing scientific papers. And there's a fair amount of reviewing other people's papers. And I also mentor students and early career researchers. And so that's what I do most of the time during the day. After work, my kids usually go to an after-school program, but when they get home, we usually relax and have dinner. And our favorite nighttime activity is going on a family walk. I think it's kind of funny that I largely study cold and snowy weather. That's sort of what the polar vortex has always been about. But that's actually the type of weather I like the least. I really don't like snow. I hate driving in snow. I don't like skiing even. So my perfect day would be calm and sunny with afternoon thunderstorms, which I love listening to thunderstorms. So that's just something about me.